pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
A little bit
Follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series presented by Voiles Trucking, live here on JTN. We are so glad you're joining us here tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway, where everything is bigger. Hello and welcome, folks. My name is Joe Twansky. Joining me up here in the booth tonight, you know him, you love him. He is the one, the only Dewey Schramm, not the first, not the second, but the third. Dewey, welcome back to the JTN booth, buddy.
Hello, hello. Good to be back as always.
That's all you got?
Oh, hope everybody's having a good night so far. We got a good race on tap. A lot of guys here tonight looking for wins. Not a lot to complain about, Joe.
Not a lot to complain about. We got perfect weather here at Texas. A lot of really good weather around the states right now, too.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hot one this weekend, but we're good here tonight with BSRs. We're going to go for 117 laps. This, of course, is your Auto Sim 2 race preview. Remember, Auto Sim 2. It's now available on Steam. $9.99 get you that game. Endless possibilities. You know, there was some news in the NASCAR gaming world this week about a NASCAR manager, kind of like the F1 manager. Just get Auto Sim 2. You know, it's stock cars. You can customize it. You can do all kinds of crazy things. Just none of the licensed aspects, because we don't have that kind of money. Check out AutoSim 2. Now available on Steam. $9.99. Support you guys here at JTN. 117 laps around here, Dewey. That's not a particularly, crazy distance. It's not a short distance by any means either.
It kind of feels long and short at the same time. It's hard to kind of explain it, but at least that's the way I kind of feel about it. Obviously, the cup race here, way longer than 117 laps. I think even the truck race is a bit longer than that. But, it'll be broken down into some runs for fuel and probably some yellows and all that stuff. But it should be a pretty fun race overall. And we got, again, quite a good-sized field here for tonight compared to most weeks. So it should be a good one here.
Everybody loves the Texas Motor Speedway, or at least this version of the Texas Motor Speedway. Why is this old version, the 2003 up until, I believe, 2017, Dewey, you're the historian, not me, but why is this version of Texas so beloved compared to the monstrosity that we see right now out there on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule?
The biggest thing that jumps out to me between the two versions of the track is the ability to run multiple grooves here at this older version of the Texas Motor Speedway. Of course, with the new version we have now, there's all that PJ1 or whatever it is that they put up there that's essentially rendered the top two-thirds of the racing surface useless. So even going too wide now is a pretty risky maneuver to do, but here you could probably go double wide without a problem, maybe even 3 wide on the front stretch should be fine. So there's a lot more ability to move around and get comfortable with your car and try some different things out here compared to what we see on the current circuit. So it should definitely be a fun one here for tonight as these guys try to figure out what they like and maybe what they don't like about running around this place.
Field gonna get lined up out there. It's happy hour right now. Qualifying in the books. You saw those results at the top of your screens moments ago as we get ready to go racing here tonight. Dewey, take us through tonight's starting lineup.
And boy, is it a stacked field here for tonight. Leading us to the green flag will be the 91 of DJ Champ, and to his outside in row 1, it'll be Mac Daddy in that 28 machine. Back in row 2, two of our championship favorites. It's Ricky J in the 93 on the inside, and Tyler Mallon in the 18 on the outside. Zach Rogers in the 5 will round out himself in 5th, and to his outside it will be Steve Grant in the 011 machine. Cody Luke and BSR Silver Bullet make up row number 4, with Greg Lovell and BSR Nelly rounding out tonight's top 10 starting grid. Terry Scott and Magoo are back in row 6, with Denny Carroll and Brian Voiles behind them in row 7. It'll be Monty Keller and Eli in back in row 8, with Brain Fade and Ken Hansen 17th and 18th. And then RJ Rusty and W. King will be rounding out the field here for tonight's race. So it looks like you got 19, maybe 20 guys here, all trying to take home the checkered flag. It's going to be a fun one.
Should be a fun one. Drafting going to be important, folks. It's important that you say hello here tonight. Click the like button on the video. Subscribe if you're new here. Help support us here on JTN so we can continue to support these drivers as Nelly and RJ Rusty teammates going around there into turn 1 here in happy hour. This, of course, again, was your Auto Sim 2 race preview. Auto Sim 2 now available on Steam. Search it on the web, Auto Sim 2. Whew. Dewey, I had a thought. I lost it. It's gone. I think I'm pumped for this race tonight. I'm pumped to have you back in the booth here tonight. I'm looking forward to tonight. It's the 21st of September. Did you remember?
I did. I most certainly did. Got a brand new computer set up for this race. I'm sure you might notice I sound a bit different. All I changed was the hardware. I didn't change the headset or anything, so I'm back. I think I sound better. I hope I sound better.
Oh, you sound magnificent. You always sounded great, Dewey, but you sound majestic, magnificent.
Oh, thanks.
I was trying to find one more positive word, but I couldn't find it quick enough to continue the alliteration, but I got a lot of energy tonight, Dewey. I got a lot of energy. I'm excited for this one.
I drank caffeine about 20 minutes ago, so I'm in the same boat as you right now. I have a bunch of energy I gotta burn off
This
right
is
now,
about to be the most high-strung JTN broadcast that you've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Especially if these guys put on the show that we know they're capable of. Talking with drivers in the
good enough to do it too.
Talking with the drivers in the garage area before this race. Disappointing night last night. Sounded like 6 cautions in that one. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think, cautions a lot of times can be telling of how the 18 is barrel rolling down. Oh no.
Oh jeez.
Tyler Mallon, our points leader, is dead on the back straightaway. That's an unfortunate way to start the night for the Interstate Batteries team. We won't show you a replay.
Out of the way pre-race, not during the race.
We will make like ESPN did with Nick Chubb Monday night. We will not show you the replay because you do not need to see that.
Poor Nick Chubb, man. That was terrible.
It was bad. Welcoming Greg, Kathy, Magoo, Keith, Furtgo, Aussie Bill. Hope everyone's doing fantastic here on Thursday night, or if you're Bill, Friday morning. Hope you're having a fantastic day, or maybe it's midday, Bill. I always forget where we are. We're at a weird time right now.
I think he's 12 hours ahead if he's in Australia, something like that.
It's because usually it's around lunchtime, if I'm recollecting correctly.
Maybe 13, somewhere around there.
Keith does ask, Tate told me Bomb Squad Racing is invite only. Is he telling the truth or a dirty liar? That would be correct, Keith. I believe you have to be, invited accepted, if that makes sense. I think you can still sign up, but I think someone has to, kind of be like, yeah, that Keith Hughes guy, he's pretty cool, 11 a.m. Okay, Bill has given us confirmation. It is 11 a.m., so he is... How many hours is that? 14. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, are you in Central Time or are you in Eastern Time?
I'm in Eastern Time.
Okay, yeah, I think 14 then.
Yeah, this weekend I'm in Eastern Time. I think about this time next week I'm going to be pretty close to being in Central Time. So...
You going to Talladega?
No, I'm going to Chicago.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I'm going to meet up with our other broadcast colleague, Austin Spencer, next weekend for the Hawkeyes game.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good old Big Ten West football.
Well, they're playing Michigan State. So that was originally the reason, because my... Folks, I'm going to give you a little deep dive into the life of JoeTow here. My roommate's an MSU grad, and originally we were going because, you know, we have friends there, and we were going to go visit them and go to the football game. Well, he's not going now, so I'm going to a Michigan State game without the Michigan State person.
Austin, if he's watching though, is a diehard Iowa fan.
Iowa fan. Iowa as in cheers for Iowa. Believe he cheers for Iowa State too. He told me at one point. He's like, "Yeah, I cheer for Iowa State too." I'm like, "What are we talking?" Folks, if you can cheer for your biggest rival,
if I cheered for the Red Sox and the Yankees at the same time, I wouldn't be a genuine fan.
Yeah,
that'd just be wrong.
Keith, I would vouch for you maybe.
But the real question is, will you get to see a Brian Ferentz-led offense actually score 25 or more points?
I will get to see a blackout at night at Kinnick. So I'm very excited as the college football fan in me. Cars are getting lined up on the grid, though. I'm excited for that. So we await the fan to get engines fired here as we're missing someone on the grid. It looks like fifth, and we're still missing that person. Who are we missing?
I think it's Steve Grant.
Oh, no.
In the 011 machine. Looks like he has not gridded himself up. So it looks like he'll miss at least the start. But...
Cyhawk. I never thought I'd see the day.
Oh, there's also another more maybe vulgar term that game is referred to. That's also, to me, funnier. But
well, we can't say it on
here.
here.
Maybe not JTN suitable.
No. And Greg says there's not much good football going on in Illinois these days. Greg,
no, there is not.
Greg, let me tell you, if you like Dewey and you want to get a little crazy with your football podcast, check out Offsides on JTN too, because I'm sure you guys had a field day with what's going on in Chicago. Because
oh my gosh,
who knows? Who knows what's going on in Chicago? We do know this though. DJ Champ lining up on the pole, Mac Daddy to the outside, Ricky J, Tyler Mallon, Zach Rogers making his return here, Silver Bullet, Cody Luke, Nelly, Greg Lovell. And I believe rounding out our top 10 tonight, another strong qualifying effort for Magoo in the 144. 117 laps here tonight, no stages. We're running it start to finish. Hopefully green flag, fingers crossed as we follow our Dodge Charger pace car here through turn number 4. DJ Champ with control. Pace car will make the hard left turn down the pit lane. 91.28 here on the front row. Fans are on their feet. We hope you're standing at home. Green flag, we're underway here from the Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, good opportunity for Silver Bullet, Nelly, Magoo, those guys, as the entire outside row got to move up row with Steve Grant not gridding to start.
Oh, 91 into the 18 and then into the 93. Big crash here. Off of turn number 2. DJ Champ around. RJ Rusty going around towards the back. Wiley King.
Silver Bullet got a piece of the wall as well. The 91 swung right in front of him. So already trouble here is lap 1, turn 2, our pole sitter ends up spinning here.
How treacherous is the bottom going to be here on these restarts?
Turns out very. We found that out pretty quick.
See, I think DJ, did he hit the apron a little bit there? We see high above with our helicopter cam.
I think he did. And when he did, it just shot him back up the hill into the 18, who scrubbed the outside wall, and nothing Silver Bullet can do either. Just when you're already on the outside, there isn't much you can do when a car comes spinning 2 lanes up into you like that. So a tough break there for him as well. But I don't think the damage for any of these guys is too bad. So I think they could just slap 4 new tires on and get on with their run.
So working our first caution of the night here, lap 2.
Big break for Steve Grant, who did in fact grid. He's now on the racetrack. I think 1 lap down now, so he should get that lap back and be good to go here too.
Bill says the rugby finals are on Down Under. So rugby's such a foreign thing to me, but I can turn it on and just watch it, you know?
I do that with Aussie Rules football too. I'm not sure if that's exactly the same thing or not, but I've seen a couple of Aussie Rules football games at 3 o'clock in the morning or something. That stuff gets pretty entertaining, and they get really into it. It's cool stuff.
Bill, I need confirmation if those are the... I don't think those are the same thing. There's probably some difference.
There might be.
Or it's the same thing, and I don't know.
Whatever league the Fremantle Dockers are in, I remember them being in one of the games I watched.
Okay.
It's some pretty intense stuff. They take it as seriously as we take our American football. Honestly, it was pretty cool.
Bill says not the same.
Okay.
Okay, so confirmation on that. I wonder... Let's see. Unlike rugby, players cannot throw the ball in Aussie rules.
Huh. Interesting.
You get 7 substitutions for 15 players in rugby. You get 3 substitutions with 18 players in Aussie rules. Aussie rules, you score by kicking the ball through the 4 goalposts. They're very different. They're like they're very different from a quick Google search.
I guess so, but I remember like the first time I turned it on, they were just kind of like kicking the ball everywhere, and I didn't know what was going on. But then I started watching more of it, and even though I still didn't know what was happening, I was enjoying it. It's like, this is pretty cool.
I like hand egg.
So I'm not sure what time of the year they tend to do it, but if you ever have like Fox Sports 2 on at like 3:30 in the morning, you might catch it. Maybe you like it.
So again, working our first
first yellow of the night on lap 1. There's our pole sitter DJ Champ clips the apron going through turn 2 and got into the 18 and the 4, but all very small contact, so everybody that was involved, again, should be pretty good to go for the rest of the night. And we've got Steve Grant, who originally qualified in 6th, but did not grid initially, back on the racetrack too. So all 20 of our starters, I believe, are on the track still.
Bill says in all caps, rugby is like your football. Okay.
Oh no, DJ Champ retired, actually.
Oh no.
Looks like the listed reason is tire.
Just
so
tire?
Our pole sitter made it a lap.
Oh man.
And that's really too bad. That car looked really, really strong in practice and obviously in qualifying by winning the pole, but I guess a tire issue already has taken the 91 out of it here. Those are the most unfortunate kind of incidents where, you know, you have a fast car like that and your night's even over before you can, you know, can really show what you're worth and show what you're capable of doing. So hopefully you can come back next week and have a much stronger run. So it'll be Mac Daddy now in the lead. He'll have Ricky J, Zach Rogers, Cody Luke, and Greg Lovell rounding out the top 5 behind him as we get ready to take the green here, coming to lap 6.
You want to take us back, Dewey?
Pace car going down pit road. I'll never turn down an opportunity to say that. And we are back underway here on the Straits of Texas to complete lap number 5. Bit of a slow start there for Mac Daddy, and Ricky J is going to try to pounce here into turn 1.
A little premature there, Dewey, but it's okay.
Got the spirit.
Gotta get used to it, you know?
Yeah. Whole timing thing. Field kind of split in half already out of turn 2. Gap between Nelly and Magoo already about half a second. So maybe some clear favorites already trying to pull away from the rest of the field here and try to dominate the first part of this event.
Well,
As
something
the 93 is still all over the back of the 28.
something to watch. Ricky J, second in the points coming into tonight's race. 5 wins on the year compared to the points leader Tyler Mellon's 15 wins on the year.
Gosh.
Here's the thing,
Insane.
though. Dewey, here's the thing. 18 points separate those two here. So still a close points battle. If something happens to this 18 car, it could give Ricky J an opportunity to gain some of those points back.
Well, and Tyler already has a tad bit of damage. Of course, the 91, when he spun, got into the 18 first, and it hit the outside wall a little bit out of turn 2. So, not sure if that's more cosmetic than it is, damaged any important pieces of the race car. But either way, obviously not the way the 18 wanted to start their night off. But there's still so much of the race left that he can easily rebound from that. And it looks like the top 5 or 6 are starting to pull away even more from the remainder of the field so far. So far, these 5 look like the ones to beat here in this race. Looks like within this top 5 or 6 as well, Mac Daddy's starting to make a gap between himself and second place Ricky J. So even with how fast these top 6 are, 28 even trying to separate himself from these groups, or this group of guys. So, I mean, hard to tell what the 91 would have done had he still been up here racing with these guys, but at the very least, from who's left on the racetrack, the 28 definitely looks like the best of them.
Just having fun.
Yeah.
He's out there, he's driving around. What are you clicking for?
What do you mean, what am I clicking for?
I hear your mouse.
I'm going through the field.
Going click, 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 click. You can use, there's button, okay folks, we're gonna take you behind the scenes here a little bit.
Oh, Mac Daddy scrubbed the wall out of 2, I think, just a little bit. I believe Cody Luke might have as well.
We were gonna take you behind the scenes, but then something interesting happened on track.
Yeah, there are 2 different ways you can scroll through the field. I just happen to prefer the one that sounds louder.
Yes, there it is. Carroll going by Malin there, so the 18 falls back a spot. Tyler kind of getting caught here in traffic. That car qualified up front, so I think he has the raw speed. Guys back to the inside here into turn 3.
Side by side between the 18 and the 41, give that spot to Tyler.
Go up a couple spots. Cody Luke in a dogfight right now with Greg Lovell for the 4th spot.
On the grass in the front stretch, it's Eli. Can he save it?
I don't even see him.
Did he also for me?
He might have.
I definitely just saw him go through the grass in the trial. Well, he most certainly did.
Ricky J goes to the lead here.
Yeah, he was starting to spin coming out of the dog leg.
Yep.
And was headed towards the pit road wall, and I think he just went to Alt F4 to not come back up into the field.
Now, when you say Alt F4, for the folks at home that might not know what you're saying, what does that mean?
So Alt F4 is essentially a keyboard combination where if you hit the Alt key and the function for F4 key at the same time, it completely closes out of the program you have opened. So in a race like this, you just completely disappear and the game closes. So maybe that's what he did, but he's now coming off of pit road, Eli is. So maybe he just crashed his game to avoid hitting the field and came back out. I'm not really sure, but
it could have been a situation where the... And I've seen it happen where your game crashes, but your car stays on track for a couple extra seconds. It could have been something like that too.
Maybe. Either way, that could have been way worse than it was, thankfully. So Eli will be back on track without damage, but looks like probably 2, maybe 3 laps down. So he'll need some cautions to try to get that time back.
Kathy, I would tell Brian to deal with it because I'm sure, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Dewey, I'm cutting you off, I know, but Kathy says, I'm not sure Brian could handle it if she got animated during during rugby games. Now, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure their two colleges are rivals with each other, so if you can handle that, you can handle anything. Looks like caution out here. Or am I just seeing the yellow safety lights and think, okay, yep, I'm blind. Anyways, back to the race.
Yeah, with all that craziness going on, we had to pass for the lead in that. Ricky J is, at some point in the last 3 or 4 minutes, taking the lead away from Mac Daddy in the 28. So, second in points right now, getting some valuable points up at the front by leading these laps here. So we'll see if we can keep it up at the front for an extended period of time, which would be great for him in the points battle, and if he just also wants to win the race. Either way, good pass, fast car. Not a lot to complain about right now if you're that 93 machine. Looks like Eli is only 2 laps down as a result of his adventure on the front stretch. So only 2 cautions from now. He'll be able to get that time back, as Mac Daddy looks like he's lost another spot here to Zach Rogers in the 5. Move him up into P2 in his return race here to BSR. Great start tonight for him so far.
Kathy, someone needs to get Brian. Do you know what what their mascot's name is?
They are the Razorbacks.
I know but you know their mascot's name.
Oh, I don't know that.
Okay. I don't. Maybe you would. Kathy, you gotta get him a blow up Razorback thing or something. Maybe, I don't know. And then yell Texas is back in his face.
Wise words once spoken by Sam Ellinger.
They, in fact, were not back at that time.
No, they were not. Maybe they are now, though. We'll see.
Pork Chop. His name is Pork Chop. Thank you.
Got a battle towards the back. Denny Carroll in the 41. BSR Silver Bullet in the 4. I believe this is for 9th here across the stripe. Good battle going on with these two guys. At the back, or the rear end of the top 10. Looks like Monty Keller in the 028 wants to get into it too, but a bad corner from Silver Bullet's going to take him out of this battle for the meantime. And it'll give an opportunity here for Ken Hansen and our behind him Brian Boyles to both maybe pounce and gain some spots.
A disastrous set of corners there for the 4 team. Instead of just losing the 1 spot, went down into the corner there, Dewey. Really aggressive, trying to keep that spot, end up stepping over that line. You saw him drift up the hill, loses 2 additional spots there. Not good if you're Silver Bullet in this 4 car. Again, trying to rebound from being involved in our first caution of the night. Of course, not of his doing.
No, it was not, but obviously when you do that, you risk wearing out the tires a bit more, but still hanging in there with this, looks like pack of 5 here. These guys are still racing pretty hard with each other, as Ken Hansen would get by Monty Keller here into turn 1. The 028 sent it in there a little bit, and that's going to bottle him up with Silver Bullet and Brian Wales. Now the 4 and 68 will do that on turn 2. Some really good racing back here. Still tightly knit up at the front as well. Ricky J has got a couple car lanes on Zach Rogers, but from everybody on the 5 back to Nelly in the 103, all very close tails. Just like those pack of 5 at the back of the top 10, guys at the front of the top 10 putting on a heck of a show as well. Got another battle on the front stretch. Brain Fade, Magoo, and Steve Grant all in a little pod of their own. Going into turn 1, of course, Steve trying to rebound from not gritting in time for the start. And while he does have his lap back, still has to gain quite a few positions back to even get to where he was going to start this race.
I was going to start all the way up, what, in the 6th spot?
Yeah, he was qualified 6th and currently runs, I believe, 16th right now. So still a ways to go, but still have 90 laps to go this time by.
Oh, yeah, plenty of time.
Still a lot of time to get that done.
Plenty of time. Dewey, it is the 21st of September.
Do you remember?
Now, I have to ask you, what is your favorite? Earth, wind, or fire?
I gotta say Earth.
Yeah. It's the planet you live on.
Right?
Yeah?
Earth is what makes all this possible. Oh, got one around in the backstretch.
Oh, 3 around.
Tyler Mallon's in it. The 088's in it. Greg Lovell, Cody Luke in the 8 also caught up in it. Second caution of the night here on lap 29 takes 3 of our favorites and puts them down into the inside wall. I think the 8 was the first one to go around, but we'll have to get another look at it here.
Yeah, Cody Luke has, you know, second half of this season, this 8 team, they have been showing some speed up inside the top 5. Lovell packing a lot of air on the rear end of that 8 car. Didn't make any contact with him. And Cody just gets loose there off of turn number 2. Dewey, I know you're not maybe up to date on this lore, but that is the Randall Coleman corner. Of course, Randall, one of Cody's biggest mentors, and Cody sending one out to Randall by losing it off of turn number 2.
Yeah, and it looks like the 088 got a little squirrely trying to miss the spinning Cody Luke, and in the process ended up tagging the 18 of Tyler about halfway down the backstretch and sent those 2 spinning. I think Nelly might have gotten a piece of that 088 as well, but kept going in the right direction, so bit of a lucky break there for Nelly. Not so much for the 18, however, I don't believe the 18 hit anything. So it should just be four new tires.
But again, Dewey, the loss of track position, saw the 18 lose the track position at the start of this race. Still was not back. More of it. Still is not back to where that team started.
Right.
You know, 20, 25 laps of green flag racing there. So it's going to be a long night if they can't get this figured out.
Yeah, it seems like passing is a little bit difficult. Like you can kind of pass, you know, maybe 1 or 2 guys at a time, but you can't really pick off a lot at once, at least from what it seems so far, as the 193 will win the race off of pit road. And this is really shaking up the front of this field. Looks like Nelly's 3rd off of pit road, Ken Hansen's 4th, Terry Scott 5th, so Mac Daddy lost a couple spots there in that pit cycle as well, so some new faces up here towards the front should make this restart pretty interesting.
Dewey, we got something interesting presented by the folks at Scheme Haven. Hey, that's you. So our upcoming races. Hobo Racing Cup Series action heads to the Texas Motor Speedway right back here in the great state of Texas. Tuesday, September 26th, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Then Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series is at Talladega. 1 week from tonight, back here live on JTN, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. And Maverick Cup Series action heads to Talladega October 3rd, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races, much more, of course, going to be live right here only on JTN.
Cannot wait for those 2 Talladega races.
Are you going to be watching next week?
Absolutely, you bet.
It's going to be Chris Pickett making his return to the JTN booth as the lead on that one with Joseph Weaver. Hope you guys tune in, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, 1 week from tonight, Chris gave us an update. If you go check out Fast 29, been updating everyone on his health. Positive update. So really good to hear. And
agreed. Really thrilled to see Chris looks like trending in the right direction.
Getting things figured out
himself
too.
Back in the booth again, yeah.
Which I think that can always be the hardest thing.
The scariest thing, I think, in a situation like that, and I'm not trying to speak for anybody, but like, if you know something's wrong and you just don't know what it is, because if you don't know what it is, you can't really know, you know, what a good treatment plan for it would be or anything. Like that, I think that's got to be the hardest part of trying to, you know, deal with any situation like that. So I'm glad Chris is finally starting to, you know, get some answers to these questions he's had. He can try to get himself back in a place where he can do this stuff more often, because we've really missed him up here. He's a great guy, great voice, Just one of the nicest, purest people I've ever met in my life. I'm glad I'm glad I know him.
Great
I can't wait
voice.
to see him back.
Great voice.
So be sure to stick around and stay tuned for that next Thursday night, same time. Of course, always good to have Weaver up in the booth as well. Those two should pack a powerful broadcasting punch here on JTN.
Little wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can I get you to do that one more time?
Dummy, yeah.
There we go. Put the smile back on my face.
Pace lights are off here in the middle of turn 1 and 2. We'll come back to the green here to complete lap 33. So we'll have, I believe, 84 to go at the line. Ricky J, second in points, first on the track. He'll lead us back to the green. Zach Rogers there back in second. He's been strong all night tonight. Nelly now finds himself in third after an outstanding pit stop there. Gained about 4 or 5 spots, I believe, between that and the cars that spun. Ken Hansen now in fourth after starting, I think, outside the top 10. Same for Terry Scott, now up in fifth. So got 3 guys that haven't really been up at the front all night so far. Got some guys like Mac Daddy and Monty Keller that have shown speed so far. Should be a fun restart here.
Ricky J out in front has Zach Rogers making his return behind him. As Dewey said, Nelly there in third in the 103. Ken Hansen, Terry Scott. Pace car makes the left turn down the pit lane. And back away we will go. Green flag once again here from Fort Worth.
Looks like the 5 spun the tires a bit there. Didn't really get going. And that's going to allow Ricky J to pull away, at least for the time being. And it's going to stack up everybody behind him just a little bit. So it should be some good battling here momentarily with everybody starting a bit closer together than maybe they thought they were going to. As we got one around out of turn 2 or into the wall, it's Eli in the 114 again. But he keeps it straight and we stay green.
Battle here with Magoo, Brian Voiles, Greg Lovell. All grouped together here down the front straightaway. See these 3 cars dicing it up.
Greg, one of those that was just involved in the incident that brought out our most recent caution. Suffered a little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. As we'll make a move here on Magoo down the backstretch and into turn 3. And he'll pick that spot up with ease. So something to maybe watch here over the next handful of laps is to see if that 088, like the 18, can try to get all that track position back and make their way up towards the front.
Zach Rogers has gained back the ground he lost on the restart in this 5 Farmer Chevrolet. Closed back up to the back bumper of Ricky J. Nelly also pushing that 5 car forward.
Ken Hansen up in this mix as well, right behind Nelly. Looks like the top 4 starting to separate themselves now from the rest of this field. As Zach Rogers looking high, looking low here in the front stretch. Can't quite find anything. And he'll have to wait to try again as we're back under the yellow flag once again.
Looks like Denny Carroll in the 41. He was down on the apron in turn 3. Looks like something upset that car on corner entries. You watch the replay here. Watch this car kick out loose. Gonna save it, gets on the apron, comes back up the track. Really makes that car go uneasy. Round for a spin goes the 41. Noses it into the outside wall. Not what you want to do with a Dodge Charger. A lot of those with rebuilt titles. That one might be one of them. But he gets it back going. So we're under our third caution.
Quite a few close calls there, though.
Indeed.
Luckily, nobody else was involved in that. Despite nosing it in, didn't look like he did it too bad, so perhaps with just a quick, normal pit stop, he should be good to go here. The caution number 3. As the field will make their way down pit road. Looks like pretty much everybody coming down this time.
Race off pit road strategy call for Silver Bullet in the 4-2 tires. Gets that car off pit lane first. Ricky J, Zach Rogers, Ken Hansen, and Nelly, your top 5. Hansen gaining a spot, gets around the 103.
Solid call, I think, there for Silver Bullet. We were only green for about 3 or 4 laps, so not much by way of tire wear on the set that these guys took under the previous yellow. So we'll see if that 2-tire call for Silver Bullet can hold up over a run, or if maybe tires end up mattering that much here tonight.
Welcome in, Tim, in chat. Tim Huston. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday night. Hope all is well.
I think what the 4 just did can also serve as a data point for
Oh no.
everybody up here at the front, or maybe not a data point, but just a good observation. Because if we have this restart and the 4 kind of falls out of the mix very quickly, it could be a sign to these guys that maybe taking 2 tires late in the race with maybe 10 or 5 to go might not work out for them.
He's talking about
Never
data
know.
points, folks. Yikes.
Or just something to think about.
About?
Yeah. Use the race to win the race, right? See what everybody's
I have
doing
never
around you,
heard
see
that
what works,
phrase
see-
before, Dewey. I'm sorry, but I gotta call you out on that one. You said that like that's like a common. I've never heard that before.
No, I just made it up on the spot.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, as long as you're admitting that, I'm good.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think, if you're in a situation like this and you're unsure of whether something could work, just wait and see if somebody else does it. And if it works for them, then maybe it'll work for you. If it doesn't, well, maybe don't try it. Let somebody else be the one to experiment with something you're unsure about, and then you'll know whether or not it's something that'll be viable for you. And you could use that to your own advantage. Of course, some guys in the field might be bigger risk takers than others, or some guys might race a bit more conservatively than others, but the way I see it, or the way I try to approach races like that, is I like to let other people take the risks and then use that to see if it's going to be worth my while to try it myself. So again, regardless of perspective or philosophy or anything like that, will be interesting regardless to see how well this Ford will hold up here on the restart with this 2-tire call. We're a lap away from finding out as the pace lights are off. So it'll be Silver Bullet leading us to the green. It'll be Ricky J right behind him in second. And it'll be Zach Rogers, Ken Hansen, and Nelly rounding out the top 5.
Go at green, lap 41 of 117. It'll be 77 laps to go. We get back green. Do you think I could steal our pace car tonight? Think that would be possible, or is that not how that works?
I'm not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no.
Okay, as long as you're not telling me no.
We got to get like an 8-bit JoeTowNetwork into the game though to try it out.
Make myself the pace car driver.
Yeah.
Field makes.
Just edit the MIP and put your face on the guy.
There we go. Field makes their way into the restart zone. Back away we go. Green flag once again here. The Silver Bullet leads us back to green on 2 tires. Ricky J already looking to the outside into turn 1.
Honestly, a pretty decent start for the 4. I think the 93s had a better one as he'll look to the high side here. As the 4 drifts up the track just a little bit, and that's going to stop the 93's progress just momentarily. They'll go side by side here for the lead into turn 3. Still side by side, but it looks like the 93 is starting to power his way around the outside as the 4.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
93 clears for the lead. Now they're side by side for second with Zach Rogers. He'll clear as well. So the 4 back to third, but we'll see if he can try to level himself off and maybe stick to a position for a bit.
Needs to stop the bleeding, right?
Yeah.
Needs to try to fall into line, get some laps. They only ran about a lap and a half, 2 laps there for that last caution. So really those left sides aren't that much older. I think what we're seeing is the difference in speed. But this 4 car started back there in row number 4 tonight. So has decent speed in this car. Just needed the track position now. He'll see if they can hold on to it. Oh, he's right on the bumper of the 5, though. You don't want to do that.
That's about as close as you can get without causing a potential incident. But yeah, he qualified himself in 8th, now runs 3rd, so perhaps leveling off a bit right now. And if so, maybe taking 2 is a viable strategy for these guys up at the front later on in the race.
Welcome in, KJ. Hate to see you go for go, but if shift's done, that's a good thing. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Indeed it is.
We got one around in turn 2.
And
It's Eli.
survey says...
Wiley King also involved.
Yeah, looks like Brian Voiles in the 68 either was involved or slowed down to miss it.
It's like
So
Eli...
It's been a tough night for Eli so far.
Yeah, Eli kind of self-spinning here into 1. I think Wiley King gonna get just caught up in it.
Yeah, he just got spun in front of him. Nothing really he could do there to avoid it. As I think Brian Voiles was just slowing down to miss everybody. He wasn't involved in it. So caution number 4 for the 925 and the 114. And yeah, like we've said, it's been a bit of a rough go of it so far for Eli. However, he's still on the lead lap, and there's still a lot of time to go. So despite the issues that he's had so far tonight, still plenty of time to put it in the past and get himself in a better spot here.
As we're under this caution, let's get a word with our friends from Auto Sim 2. Have you ever wanted to manage your own racing team? Or what if you could go back in time to see if a particular season could have finished differently? Well, folks, have no fear, because Auto Sim 2 is here. With fully customizable roster files, you can create your own world or try to recreate the past. Heck, you could even try to predict the future through Auto Sim 2's Sim mode. Don't like the passive approach? Well, then get more hands-on in owner mode, where you decide who drives your cars and what companies will sponsor them. Down on your luck? Well, then scout some new talent that will get you to the top. Already super successful? Try moving up the ladder or expanding to truly solidify your racing empire. However you want to play, Auto Sim 2 has you covered and is now available for purchase through the Steam store for $9.99. Now go make your mark and build your legacy in Auto Sim 2. And again, folks, Auto Sim 2 is now available on Steam for $9.99. A great deal, endless fun. Auto Sim 2, go check it out now on Steam. Field coming off pit lane. We're going to have a new leader if things stay the same, although Terry Scott's staying out. Uh-oh.
Very crowded pit exit there. A lot of guys, not a lot of space, but they made it work. As looks like Nelly is going to be first off pit road, or actually no, I'm a liar. It is Zach Rogers that's first off pit road in the 5 machine. So lead change regardless, but it will put Nelly up into 2nd, which is the highest he has run all night. Silver Bullet 3rd off pit road, which is where he was at the time of the yellow, so no gain, no loss. Looks like Ricky J and Steve Grant 4th and 5th, so now the 011 is back where he was originally going to start the night, or one spot better than it. So with him up here now for the first time, we'll see if he can sustain the speed that he showed there in qualifying.
How much do you make of the split strategies here again?
I think it's interesting. That run was a tad longer than the last couple were, but I think what it's going to do is if we end up with a long green flag run, it's really going to end up splitting these guys in half, where some guys might have to stop twice from now, whereas some might have to stop once. So it'll potentially make it much more interesting, but of course still plenty of time left to see how the cookie crumbles. But it definitely makes for an interesting set of events here. not like 100% sure what the fuel window is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 70 to go.
Usually around 32 laps on the mile and a half, so we're probably looking at least one stop, right? I don't think you can make it on one, but at least one.
I think if we have one, maybe two more cautions, making it on one might be possible.
Yeah. It's always plausible. Right?
Honestly, maybe even one if maybe somebody tries to save a bit for the duration of a run, and then maybe...
Couple cars pitting here, too. Got one down pit lane. That's Denny Carroll in the 41. The pace car lights are out. We'll go back green next time by Zach Rogers with control. Author extraordinaire with the lead in his return to the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. Nelly sits in second. Silver Bullet there in third. Ricky J fourth, and Steve Grant rounding out your top five.
I believe he's our fourth leader of the night, as DJ Champ led us to the green, but unfortunately retired before lap 1 was complete. Mac Daddy led for a bit, Ricky J for a bit, Silver Bullet, so that, yeah, leader number 5 actually so far tonight. So 5 leaders in the first about 1/3 of the race, or almost close to half the race. It's pretty good. See if we have any more than that over the next stretch of laps here.
You'll be reading off them stats right now. Got any other good stats for us?
Oh, here's a good stat. Everybody in this race and watching at home somewhere is going to finish this NFL season with as many completions and touchdown passes as Aaron Rodgers will.
Dude, that's why I pay you the big bucks for stats like that just make me smile. Zach Rogers with control here for the restart, coming back to lap 49 of 117 from Texas. Green flag, we're back underway. Better restart that time for the 5. 103 also clear. Silver Bullet in the 4, though. A little bit of wheel spin.
That's going to bunch up everybody behind them, as the 68 of Brian Voiles is falling back there on the top. It'll file in behind him. 2 is going to take an excursion down onto the apron.
That's RJ Rusty.
RJ Rusty. Close call for him there.
Ricky J to the inside of Silver Bullet for 3rd. Completes the pass off of corner number 4. Cody Luke back up here in the mix for a top 5 as well in that 8. Tyler Mallon also in the picture, so is Greg Lovell.
Yeah, those are the 3 guys involved in the incident about 20 laps ago, and now all 3 of them back in the top 10. Steve Grant, who again was supposed to start in 6th, now up in 5th. So this pack of 4 right here is going to be real interesting to watch here over the next 10, 20 laps to see if they can gain more ground or at least stay where they are right now. Silver Bullet still hanging tough in 4th. See if he can keep it there for a while. Of course, started himself, I think, in 8th place, but rolled off 6th with Grant not gridding up. But heck of a run for him so far, as the 2-tire call at least leveled him off now with everybody else, given the yellow we had after it. So got a good chance here for a great run and a great finish here for the 4. We'll see if we can keep it going. Greg Lovell's all over the back bumper of Tyler Mallon of the 18. Those 2 going at it for 7th place here in turns 3 and 4. Pass for the lead up at the front. Nelly's gotten by the 5 of Zach Rogers. Ricky J is going to follow him through, or at least try to, as we have our 6th leader up the race. It's Nelly in the 103 taking command here at Texas.
Ricky J through for 2nd. Silver Bullet getting close there off of turn number 4. Trying to find a way for 3rd. We'll have to fall in line. Rogers able to use the momentum to at least keep himself on the podium. Some smoke there in turn 2. Someone went into the wall. Denny Carroll looks to be the culprit. He's slow on the apron down the back straightaway.
And he's got it on the apron out of harm's way, so he'll likely make it to pit road here
I think Nelly kind of got a little scared there, drifted up the track. That opened the door wide open for Ricky J to look to take back the lead. And Rogers.
Silver Bullet, he might drop 3 spots
And
here.
Silver Bullet. Steve Grant going to really be aggressive trying to get down into the quarter. Nelly, though, I think should be able to slot in here in 4th. But that's... I mean, Dewey, that's what we talk about when we talk about disasters and how, like, navigating lap cars can be so difficult. Because in that case, Denny's not doing anything wrong in the 41, right? He's staying on the apron, but it looked like he was missing a right front tire. Get confirmation on that in a second. If he's missing a tire and you're Nelly and you see that, you get a little scared that he's going to come up the racetrack because you know that car is not turning as well as it should.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, maybe a bit of an overreaction, but that's subjective, and, you know, guys might react differently to a car sitting down there. I would probably react more than I need to.
Yep.
Seeing a guy down there like that without a front tire. But,
Well, and you can overreact halfway through a race. Maybe you can't in the last 10 laps, but right now,
yeah,
still A-okay.
there's still a bit of a margin for error now, where with about, 10, 15 laps to go, that margin for error is going to be 0. But Nelly still sits in 4th here, coming to 60 to go this time by, so we're just shy of halfway. So with him still being in 4th, there's still plenty of time to try to gain those 3 spots back. And if my memory serves me right, I believe it's been since Daytona last year since Nelly's last won a race, so it'd be a heck of a win for him if he can pull it off here tonight.
Dewey, you are on it tonight.
Here he goes for 3rd, looking underneath Silver Bullet in the 4.
Closing in. We're just over halfway through this one from Texas. JTN's coverage of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series exclusively here on Thursday nights. Got BSR racing action for you all the way through the first week of November. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. It shows your support for the guys here at BSR. And click that like button. Say hello if you haven't already tonight. A lot of folks in chat that we see each and every week. Cannot thank you for your continued support. Cannot thank you if you're new here enough. We just, we love everybody. At the end of the day, we love everybody that tunes into JTN, takes some time out of their Thursday night or whatever night of the week it may be. And can't thank you enough again for tuning in. Mark your calendars, folks, because we've got some great racing action coming up here presented by our friends at SchemeHaven.com. Hobo Racing Cup Series action back here at the Texas Motor Speedway Tuesday night, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. 1 week from tonight, they'll head to Talladega with the Bomb Squad Racing.
Oh, car in the wall! Sorry, Joe. Brian Wills in the 68 slapped the wall there in the middle of turns 3 and 4.
He's still slow coming off of turn number 4. See Brain Fade getting on by Terry Scott as well. Terry was one of the pit under that last lap, or last opportunity under the last caution. Might be trying to save fuel there. Keep your eyes on the 66, but Boyle's losing multiple spots after slapping the wall. Again, folks, upcoming races, though, on left of your screen here. Mark your calendars, only on JTN.
I think the 68 might have lost it a bit going into turn 3 and overcorrected a bit trying to save it and got himself into the outside wall, but thankfully has the car pointed in the right direction again, though he will probably need a caution to get that damage fixed and some new tires on the car. Got a battle for 2nd. Silver Bullet in the 4, Zach Rogers in the 5, going at it right behind Ricky J for that runner-up spot. Give it to the 4 for now. So that 2-tire call looking better and better for the 4 as with the caution after it that put everybody on 4 tires. That 4 has been one of the strongest cars in the field.
Gaining track position is so crucial at a track like Texas. Silver Bullet has done a great job of that here tonight in that 4 car.
That he has.
You like it when I just smack you upside the head with something that, no duh, Joe? I know that's what you're saying in your head.
I mean, yeah, still good to say, though.
Tyler Mallon to the inside of Steve Grant for 5th. Greg Lovell going to look to follow the 18 car on through.
Yeah, looks like a 2-for-1 there for Steve Grant, and might be 3-for-1. Monte Carlo looking right behind him as well.
Monty thought about it, then thought better of it, I think. Down into the corner. Could have easily thrown that car in, right?
Yeah.
Jack Rogers now cuts back to the inside of Silver Bullet for 2nd. These two continue to battle if you're Ricky J and you're in the lead, you love seeing that because maybe you played a little easy here. You're easy on your tires. You don't necessarily push the issue right now, try to run away from these guys because you know if they're racing each other, they're going a little less. They're going a little under optimal speed.
Absolutely. That likely is going to wear the tires a bit more as well. So I wouldn't necessarily put on cruise control from Ricky J, but I think he can definitely take it a tad easier than you otherwise would. But looks like Silver Bullet has put a stop to that battle for right now, and he's actually catching that 193 now. So Ricky J probably back in protect mode here going into turn 3. Nelly trying to close in on 5 as well. Maybe a battle for 3rd brewing here shortly. Tower Malin back in the top 5, rounding it out for right now. Been the best car all season long. Not necessarily the best car tonight, but an overarching, or excluding the whole season. I just had word salad. But either way, he's been like the best car all season again. Maybe not the best one tonight, but a top 5 still a solid run of the points, considering he's at the top.
Right. Well, and considering being
Ricky
involved
J
in
up front.
2 different incidents, right? Like,
Yeah.
so when we talk about special seasons, we saw KJ have a special season last year, win a championship. Ricky J 2C as the 18 is.
Whoa!
Tyler, we'll stop talking good about you if you're gonna keep doing stuff like that. But we've seen special seasons, and we saw that with KJ last year. A special season, a dogfight with Ricky J for the championship, but a special season. That 2019 felt like they couldn't do anything wrong. The year before that, Ricky J doing something similar in the 190 or in the 93. He's switched since, and I keep calling him the 193. He's only the 93 now. 2 years makes a terrible habit. But Dewey, this 18 team, a truly special season. In 25 starts this year, hasn't run all the races, has missed 4 events, but in 25 starts, 15 wins, 1-5. I can't even count that on 2 hands. I need my toes. 22 top 5s. I run out of fingers and toes. 23 top 10s. 10 pole positions. Has led just under half the laps that they have been on track with that 18. An average start of 2.3. An average finish of 2.9. And has been running at the finish in 24 of 25 races. That is a heck of a stat line, and that is why this 18 team continues to be the favorite for the championship, despite this battle still being close in the closing stages of this season.
It's honestly remarkable. The best comparison I can think of, at least on the real side of things, is really Max Verstappen in Formula 1 last year, winning 15 Grands Prix on his way to his 2nd straight title. And obviously Tyler has his work cut out for them with Ricky J right behind them, but this level of dominance, whether it results in a championship or not, is almost something to marvel over with how impressive it is.
And if you want to know what the direct comparison is, Ricky J's got 5 wins on the year. We talk about how fast that 93 car is each and every week as Tyler going for another spot, trying to get around Nelly here, and Nelly putting up a heck of a fight.
Look at Greg!
Lovell, he got loose. He got loose there.
Oh, man. That's going to cost us some time, but a great battle going on. As Silver Bullet looks like starting to fade away here from this front group, but a great battle through and through as the 18 tries to get himself into a podium spot here.
But to return to the point, Ricky J has 5 wins on the year. Has more top 5s with 25 compared to the 22 that the 18 team has. But that's in, again, 4 more starts, has 3 more top 5 finishes. This battle has been tooth and nail, close all year. And just by how much the 18 has been able to gap in the win column, that's what's putting that team on top of the point standings right now. Not the top 5s, not the consistency, not the laps led, because those gaps are so much closer. If not, the 93 is leading.
Yeah, and honestly, it almost gets silly if you put the stats of Tyler and Ricky J together.
Yeah.
Where if you think about the 2 of them together, they've won
20
like
of 29.
80% of the races this season. Like I don't want to take away from anything Tyler's done, but like Ricky J has had an incredible season on his own right. It's just stat-wise, I think the 18s are way more eye-popping because of the amount of wins.
Yes.
But they've both been insanely impressive, and I think both of them are very deserving champions depending on how these last handful of races go. Got one slow on the apron. That's Eli. I believe he's going to make his way down pit road here. In that 114. Looks like Mac Daddy's going to join him in the 28.
Not but the night that 28 team thought they'd have after starting up front.
Yeah, and he let a bit early. I think about 10, 15 laps, but since that second caution, it's really not been a great night for the 28, and I don't think he can make it on fuel from here. So I think he's going to need some help in the form of cautions to get himself back in this thing. Got one more coming down pit road. Nelly in the 103 pits from 4th.
It's begun.
Yeah, some interesting strategy going on here with, I think, 41 to go next time by. I don't know how many of these guys can make it from here.
Yeah.
But maybe they think they can.
I don't think they can, do we?
As we got the 2 car, he's pretty slow in the turn 1 here. I think he's hit the wall a couple of times. Might have a tire down. That's RJ Rusty, and I think he does have a flat right front.
Here comes Tyler Mallon looking for the lead to the inside of Ricky J. 18 trying to go to the point for the first time tonight here. Lap 78 of 117. You already knew it. 40 laps to go. 18 car comes out to play. Tyler Mallon to the point here once again this season, but for the first time tonight at Texas.
That car looks like it's coming alive at the best time possible. Really haven't talked much about where they've run tonight up until this point, but now when it matters more, getting into the later stages of this race, now all of a sudden that car finds itself up at the front, and no better time to be up at the front than at the end of a race. See if we can keep it there though. As we got one spinning on pit road, Cody Luke in the 8 has gone around. I think he might have came in too hot on pit road.
Now, Junior got his first win here, right?
He did. The fall of 2000.
I don't think Cody Luke's getting his first win here tonight. Heavy damage on the right side of that vehicle.
I think he just retired from the race, actually.
He did not like my comment about him not winning tonight.
So I believe that's the 3rd car out of the race, as Denny Carroll retired with a tire puncture when he came down pit road a ways ago. So got 3 retirees now. So I believe 16 or 17 remain out on the racetrack, as Ricky J has made his way down pit road from 2nd. So Tyler yet to pit. I think Zach Rogers has yet to pit. I think almost everybody else now has made their way down, as you have a pack of 4 on there right now with Ken Hansen, Steve Grant, Brain Fade, and Brian Voiles, with Magoo now joining them at pit entrance.
Here comes Tyler Mallon.
Here comes Tyler and Zach. So this should just about complete the cycle now, with all of those guys just about to start their service or complete it. As Nelly was one of the first ones to pit. So we'll see if maybe he will cycle out to the lead here, or at least maybe pick up a spot or 2. Or if maybe Ricky J pitting a couple laps before Tyler will give that 93 an advantage here for the last of this run. As the 18 now on the apron in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Nelly making his way out of turn 2 just about now. And it looks like Nelly's going to cycle out to the lead, and Greg Lovell will as well, right in front of the 18. And Ricky J.
Nelly and Greg, they are definitely in the boat. They're going to have to pit again, right?
I think one or both might try to save here, but I'm not sure.
We got a caution.
Save.
Doesn't matter. We got a caution.
Yeah, it's not going to matter now.
Everyone's going to pit. Caution's out.
Not sure who it's for. So we'll try to figure that out here.
Oh, Zach Rogers.
Yeah, he just pit from 2nd place. We'll see what happened.
Spun out. Looks like trying to get back going.
Oh yeah, he lost it on the apron and hit the inside wall, Joe.
Wow. Ring rust.
That's going to cost him a boatload of time here.
Oh, gotta be careful spinning around like that with cars coming. That was dangerous.
Yeah, thankfully nothing happened, but
Zach
bit of a
watches
close
these
call.
back too, and I know we'll get a comment about my comments. Check out Death Craver on Amazon.
So that was interesting because it just took everything we said about
Throw it
fuel
out.
strategy.
Nellie's
and
gonna
tossed
stay
it
out
the window.
anyways. Nellie's gonna stay out, probably pit the last lap of this caution. I have a feeling
Now
a lot of
that's
these other cars.
interesting.
I have a feeling a lot of these other cars are gonna do the same thing. Do we?
Maybe.
The other thing you could try, you could stay out here.
And hope maybe the caution laps are enough
Well,
to leave you good to the end.
Not even that. I mean, if the trends of this race continue to follow, cautions,
the
you know,
trends.
they have, as Weaver likes to say, they have a kink. Cautions breed cautions, right?
They
That's the
do.
phrase.
Oh,
Maybe,
almost contact on pit road with Ricky J there.
and he loses
Yeah, he
5
lost some time.
spots on pit lane? 3, 4? Brain Fade gets around him. Steve Grant gets around him. Ken Hansen got around him. Greg Lovell's.
I think Greg was ahead of him.
Greg was, and so Tyler was not, though.
Yeah, Ricky J was one of those that passed Tyler right before the yellow came out.
Yeah.
But we know the 193's got speedy. Led a huge chunk of laps earlier on in this race. However, gonna have to pass a couple more cars than he had to before to regain that lead. I'm assuming he wants to, of course.
Well, of course.
So we'll see if this group that stayed out pits. Zach Rogers will be one of them. Looks like Greg's gonna come back down again too. RJ Rusty down there as well. So Nelly still is not pit, and I think we're gonna get the one to go next time. So I don't know if that 103 can now.
Again, I'm most curious about the 103, the 68, the 114.
Right.
I want to see what they're going to do here.
I mean, I don't think it makes sense to pit on the one to go because then you don't even have a guarantee you might be caught up to the field prior to the restart, especially if something were to go wrong.
But again, you're more concerned about fuel and making it to the end of the race in this situation.
Right.
Or at least that's me. I don't want to speak for everybody out there, but that's what I would be concerned with if I'm Nelly. I want to make it to the end of this race. If I pit here, 32 laps to go, that should put me right on my number. These other guys, they might have to save a little bit here, but they should feel comfortable too. Nelly was also one of the first to pit, so that's another thing. This 103 might not be getting as good a fuel mileage. It's this constant, it's this constant battle about taking a safe approach, a risky approach. Do I want to win? Do I want to get a good point stay? These are all questions you have to ask yourself when you go through these strategy calls, especially under cautions here. Is the 103 gonna pull off to pit?
Interesting.
Ryan Boyles looks like he's staying out. Could be getting a wave around here, maybe.
Yeah, the 68's 2 laps down, so he'll get one of them back here.
Eli also a couple laps down, or is Eli on the lead lap? Eli a lap down at least.
Yeah, Eli lost 2 as well, so he'll get one back. RJ Rusty is 1 lap down already, so if a yellow were to come out, the 2 would be the free pass for it. So those 2 will rejoin the rear of the field here for the restart. But for this restart, it's now going to be Ken Hansen leading us to it, with Steve Grant in 2nd, Tyler in 3rd, Brain Fade in 4th, and Ricky J in 5th. So another restart like the one earlier where we have some guys we haven't seen up here so far tonight. Can they maintain it? And are they good to go on fuel as well?
You're asking a lot of questions, Dewey.
Good thing we're about to get a lot of answers here soon. That's the one thing about asking a lot of questions during a race, is at some point down the line, you are in fact going to get an answer for them.
Ken Hansen with control here on the restart. Who's going to make it to the end of this race? Who's going to have to pit for fuel? Who's saving to the end? going to happen? We have no idea, and that's what makes this racing thing so much fun. Dodge Charger pace car going to make the hard left turn down the pit lane. When we get the green, it'll be 31 laps to go from the Texas Motor Speedway. Hansen with control. Green flag. We are back underway here in Fort Worth.
Good start for the 9, already pulling a little bit away from the 011, who in a moment is about to be under attack for that second spot from Tyler Mallon, but even these three gapping everybody behind them for right now. And we got a big wreck in turn 2 involving RJ Rusty and Nelly.
And that's the risk you take if you're Nelly.
And it did not pay off.
Brian Voiles also.
Damage isn't too bad.
And that's a teammate, too. I think that's got to be frustrating from that aspect. RJ Rusty was also in position to get the lucky dog if there was a caution.
It was a big hit there as well. I think he got loose up on the top lane and tried to save it, but Greg Lovell was already there. And he got tagged hard by Brian Voiles. It's a big hit to the outside wall. Greg did a whale of a job saving his car as well.
A whale of a job?
He did.
Why are you invoking Moby Dick?
I don't know.
Anyways.
Felt like it.
Because you felt like it. Folks, we got a couple podcasts here in the fall. Of course, Fake Racers podcast each and every Tuesday on your favorite podcast platforms, as well as over on JTN2. And a podcast for football season. Oof Sides. Dewey, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, Oof Sides, if you want to maybe, I don't know, lose some brain cells or just listen to a couple of guys talk about football for a bit, is the weekly NFL podcast here on JTN2. I'm on there. Got a couple other great guys on there every week. Be sure to check it out sometime if you feel like it.
Also available on your favorite podcast platforms. Again, that's Oof Sides, OOF Sides. Search it on the web, Oof Sides. You do the work, so we don't have to. But go give it a little watch. I believe this week's episode is out on JTN2, or at least it should be.
Not sure if it's been uploaded for this week yet, but I think
Matthew.
The preview in week 1 should be up already.
Matthew.
Looks like at some point under that last caution or before, Mac Daddy in the 28 called it a night as he retired from the race. So we're down to 16 cars left here on the racetrack.
New Fake Racers podcast, though, is available if you want to hear all the racing content. Myself, Davey, Matthew. We have fun with that show every week. It was doing good numbers a couple weeks ago with our post-Watkins. We had a lot of momentum post-Watkins Glen. And then it just went away. So go check out JTN too. We'd appreciate it if you did. I mean, there's not much else I can say about that one.
They ebb and they flow.
I did listen to the Week 1 wrap-up show, Week 2 preview show today, I believe. I'm a little bit behind on my podcast for Oof Sides, but always a good listen there.
A lot happened.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, his knee exploded, or is it whatever? Something exploded. Juju.
Achilles, I think.
Yeah, I do have a question for you. It's football season. What's your favorite, like, tailgate food? And this goes for any sport, right? NASCAR has a big tailgate culture, too. But what is Dewey Schramm, not the first, not the second, but the third's favorite tailgate food?
Honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with just a good, charred deli hot dog.
Wow.
Can't go wrong with Italian sausages, can't go wrong... Like, honestly, there's nothing bad at a tailgate, but...
You would like hot dogs.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What are you suggesting here?
That you would like hot dogs.
Well, you're right.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, you just confirmed it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all good.
It's
Nothing wrong with hot dogs.
it's
Nothing
more
wrong with
'cause
Italian sausages and peppers in the works on it and everything.
that's better. When you say the Italian sausage with some actual effort put into it, that was more so what I was getting at. You would like the basic thing, but
Like a good burger and all that good stuff.
yeah. Kathy says sliders. What kind of sliders, though? Because you can have burger sliders, chicken sliders, ham and cheese sliders are really good.
Underrated slider, pulled pork.
Oh my goodness. I made pulled pork for the Super Bowl this past year. We had a Super Bowl party at a friend's place. I put a lot of work into that pulled pork. It was really good. And some King's Hawaiian rolls. Ooh, doggy.
Speaking of dogs, Bristol has done a heck of a job here tonight on the cameras as usual.
Wow. Dewey's like, all right, let's tie this back in. Dewey, this
Yeah.
again, professional broadcaster up here. It's not me, folks. It's Dewey Schramm. We're gonna call this. What could we call it? DTN?
Or STN. I don't know.
Schramm Toe Network?
Yeah, I have toes. It works.
Okay. Coming back to green, Ken Hansen with control, Steve Grant, Brain Fade, Terry Scott, Wiley King, your top 5 here. I'm going to lap 92 of 117. 26 laps to go from the Texas Motor Speedway. 39 miles left in this one. Into the restart zone, and back away we go. Green flag once again.
Pretty even start for a lot of these guys up here. Should make for some good battling here momentarily, but the top 2 have already set sail. Ken Hansen, Steve Grant. Brain Fade gets the wall a little bit out of turn 2, and that's going to drop him potentially up to 4 or 5 spots here in just one straightaway. As Terry Scott makes his way by W. King, Monty Keller, Zach Rogers, and now Tower Mountain all get by, so...
I got a hornet's nest back here, Dewey.
One bad corner for Brain Fade. Oh my goodness, he's down to about 10th place now, restarting in 3rd. That's how quick it can happen. And one bad exit out of turn 2, barely scraped the inside wall, or outside wall, and just like that, he's out of the top 10. And Magoo and Nelly are right behind him looking to pounce as well, so the bleeding might not be over for the 49, unfortunately. Try to stabilize it and try to gain some of those spots back. Ricky J, Tower Mountain going at it, I believe, for 6th place right now out of turn 2. Greg Lovell in that battle as well in the 088 machine.
Wiley King to the inside of Terry Scott. That for 3rd.
We haven't really talked about this 925 tonight, but coming alive at an opportune time for himself. Now up into 3rd place.
One of those Team Speedland cars.
Oh, car on the wall, it's Eli again.
We stay green. Is Rusty gonna go on by? But it's Ken Hansen out in front in engine number 9. Steve Grant there in 2nd. Wiley King 3rd. Zach Rogers in his return. And old Ricky J in the 93 rounding out your top 5. Has a couple spots back to our championship favorite, Tyler Mallon. Greg Lovell and Terry Scott sandwiched in between the 2 points leaders.
Yeah, engine number 9 doing pretty good up there. Good Deftones song, too.
Dude, you're full of surprises.
I am. Steve Grant doing pretty good right now, up in 2nd place. Rebounded very nicely from missing the starting grid for tonight's race. Got saved by that lap 1 caution, allowed him to grid up and only lose a lap. And now 4 spots ahead of where he would have rolled off. So if he can keep it up there, one heck of a rebound for that 011 group. A lot of battling further back. Silver Bullet, Terry Scott, Monty Keller, Mallon, all under a blanket out of turn 2. This is, I believe, 7th through 10th in 11th now with Nelly joining the fray. Harry Scott trying to fight back on the outside, but the inside just a stronger line. Not a whole lot he can do up there, but hope he doesn't lose too many spots and see if he can file down to the bottom.
Just has to find an opening.
And again, it's a lot, it's easier to do it, to fight up top there on this version of the track than a newer one, but the lower groove still definitely the preferred one.
Well, it's the shortest way around the racetrack, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I know that's like the easy cop-out answer for that,
It's
but
always true, though.
it's always true. The shortest way is always the quickest way. Just how math works. I don't know.
The math is mathing. As we've got one spinning down into turn 1, it's RJ Rusty spinning down onto the apron. Now back into the low groove in the middle of turns 1 and 2. We stopped down there trying to get it going. Will we stay green? I think we might.
Get our pace car cam there. A lot of smoke.
I thought for sure that was going to be a caution. He slid about all the way through the trial bowl and down to turn 1.
Well,
but
hey, we appreciate the race officials allowing these guys to race, you know?
absolutely. I don't think 2-car hit anything, just went for a long slide there. Steve Grant trying to cut away at the lead that Ken Hansen has. I think it's been about halved here in the last 5 or so laps. But while Steve Grant worries about that, he might have to start worrying about the 925 with Wiley King right behind him. Again, haven't talked too much about him tonight, but now with 15 laps to go, finds himself in 3rd and with potentially within striking distance of the lead. So we'll see if that 925 can continue his charge to the front, or if any of the guys behind him, like Zach Rogers or Ricky J, can make their way back up to the front too. And they're all over each other now. All starting to bunch up. So this is going to get good here, as Ricky J is going to look to the bottom of Zach Rogers. Greg Lovell's going to go down with it. The 925, I think, tried to block maybe there into turn 3.
Oh, man, Dewey, I don't know what's going on.
As they're now side by side for 3rd with the 925 and the 5. I think Ricky J is trying to find a way to thread it through the middle for 3 wide. The room just isn't there for it, though. I'm sure he wants to get by these two. He knows he's probably faster than these two guys ahead of him. And the longer they're side by side and the longer he's back there, the less time he has to try to make a wave for the lead. Look at him trying to thread it up the middle to take a 3.
He's got to go for it now. This 925 of Wiley King starting to fade away here. Zach Rogers gets on by. Now Ricky J to the outside. Going to have help from Greg Lovell. Tyler Malin also up there. We know all those cars are fast.
And now Rogers going for 2nd on Steve Grant now, too.
It is
all over each other here.
It is time to go here at the front of the field. Battles on for 2nd. Battles on for 3rd. Battles on for 4th. Battles on for any position in the top 5. You get to fight for your spot. Everybody gets to fight for their spot. Ricky J through for 3rd. Steve Grant going to hold on to 4th, but teammate Wiley King now going to get to the inside. Lovell going to make it 3 wide.
This is really close here. As Wiley King is trying to block them all. He can't do it all at the same time. He'll do it for now, but I don't know how much longer he can hold off these guys. As it's now side by side with Lovell and Malin, I think for 5th. Silver Bullet trying to throw his name back into the ring, getting by Steve Grant. And the 011, unfortunately, is starting to free fall here out of turn 2 and down the back stretches. So he's going to get passed by Nelly as well. But what a stretch of laps that was right there, as everybody's jostling for position all over the place. Wow, take a breath. 10 to go. This time by, it's now Rogers in 2nd and Ricky J in 3rd behind Ken Hansen, who still, after all of that chaos, is still the top dog here at Texas. Can he hold on for just 9 more circuits? Still battling in the tri-oval. Wiley King on the bottom, Tyler Mallon on the top. Greg Lovell trying to find a way around either of them right now. Not enough for him to do it, as Tyler's going to attempt a crossover move on King here out of turn 2. Greg's going to follow him through. Bad corner for the 925. Here comes Silver Bullet to make another move as well.
Ken Hansen has less than 10 laps to seal the deal in this number 9 car, but a hard-charging Zach Rogers, Ricky J, Tyler Mallon, and Greg Lovell throw Silver Bullet into the mix too in the 4. The rest of the top 5 and 6th place, they are hard-charging, trying to find a way to the front. Ricky J now to the inside of Rogers for second. 5 cars stuck on the outside, and here comes Tyler Mallon in the 18.
Yeah, it was looking really good for a while for Steve Grant and Wiley King, but it almost looks like their tires just fell off a cliff and now those last 5 or 6 laps, and they both just started losing a lot of positions, and out of contention they went. And speaking of out of contention, I think the 5 might find himself in that spot too, as he's going to lose another spot potentially to Greg Lovell, and he already did lose 3rd there to Mallon. So our 2 title contenders now 2nd and 3rd when it matters most at the end of the run. Can they keep it there, and can one of them maybe even pass that 9 car?
The other thing, too, in regards to those 2 Team Speedland cars, probably similar setups on those 2 Pontiacs. So not surprised to kind of see them fade away at relatively the same time in the run. Ken Hansen still with the lead.
Greg's on the outside wall down the back. He saves it, but Silver Bullet almost ran into the back from there. Heck of an avoidance for that 4 car.
5 laps to go at the line. Dewey, can the 9 car hold on?
I don't know. He's got 2 of the best in the business behind him duking it out. The longer they duke it out, the better it's going to look for Ken Hansen. But, I mean, even if the 9 doesn't win, this has still been a phenomenal run for him so far tonight. But
Ricky J, big block.
For second here, down the back. Ricky J trying to keep as many points as he can. He got a little loose there to turn 3, and the 18 is going to cross him over and take second. And he's going to take Rogers with him.
And Ricky J is still losing time there.
Here comes Silver Bullet.
Of turn number 4. Ricky J is free falling here.
Almost at the top 10 is Greg, who just hit the wall last time by, is now side by side with that 93. So just like that, Ricky J just went from blocking for second to barely inside the top 10. And all those valuable points he just lost are going to help the 18 big time.
Jaws music playing in the headset of Ken Hansen in the 9. We talked about it. Tyler Mallon, 15 wins in 25 starts this season. He sits.
Can he make it 16?
I mean, sits there in second. If you're Ken Hansen, you are. Oh, you just want to be told. You want to see that white flag. Here comes Mallon.
He's there. Tyler's got the fresher tires. I don't know if the 9 can hold on here. Tyler's got the advantage on that low side. Can Ken try to cross him over here as they come to take 2 laps to go here at Texas?
Zach Rogers lays in the weeds there in 3rd. Mallon sends it down into turn 1. New tires. They're just going to prevail here in the late stages. Dewey. Tyler Mallon back to the point. Lap and a half left.
I mean, it was a great run for Ken Hansen. If the race was 2 laps shorter, that 9 car would be sitting in victory lane, but I think those fresher tires on the 18 finally started to kick in and make a difference. White flag in the air here in Fort Worth, Texas.
For Tyler Mallon, it's been an up-and-down night, involved in 2 incidents here. One on lap 1, one about 30 laps into it. This 18 team, they have fought back, they have scratched, they have clawed to try to find a way to park themselves in victory lane for a league-leading 16th time this season. Off of turn number 4, it's going to be the Interstate Batteries Toyota of Tyler Mallon taking home checkered flag number 16. Drag race for 4th there.
Wow.
Silver Bullet gets it as the field comes thundering by. But Tyler Mallon once again victorious here in the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series presented by Voiles Trucking.
Yeah, and he didn't get all the way back up there, but Ricky J, who fell, I think, to 9th place, rebounded to get 5th, so still ended up losing spots towards the end, but made it a little less disappointing, maybe, to rebound for that top 5.
And when we look back at tonight, Dewey, this could have been the straw that broke the camel's back. 4-spot difference there between the 18 and the 93. It might start to creep into the territory if it's just going to be too much for that Voiles Trucking 93 team to overcome.
Very possible, as the 18 will burn it down here on the front stretch of Texas Motor Speedway for an unfathomable 16th win. I know it's been said a couple of times already, but
how many?
16 wins in 26 starts? Like that. Insane.
Tyler will take that 18 car to victory lane. We will take you to the media center as we'll get a chance to talk with our top 3 finishers. Again, folks, cannot thank you enough for tuning into JTN tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video. That's the first and most important thing you can do to help support us here on JTN. Make sure you're also subscribed to us here on YouTube. You can also subscribe to JTN2 for all of our non-live content, Fake Racers podcasts, oof sides, racing breakdowns, you name it, we got it over there on JTN2. Also follow us on our social media at JoeTowNetwork, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're on all of them. We cannot thank you enough for tuning in. We head on down to the media center, joined by our second place finisher, driver of the number 9, Ken Hansen. Ken, you got a copy?
Got you guys.
Well, Ken, we talked about it up here in the booth, Ken. If this race was 2 laps shorter, how good of a shot would you have of parking that 9-car victory lane?
It would have been my first. I was hoping for, but hey, I didn't pit, so I had older left side tires, and it was catching up with me at the end there, getting a tad bit loose off.
How were you able to hold on to it for so long? Because we saw Steve in the 011, Wiley King in the 925. They were on a similar, strategy there. And it seemed like they fell off 10, 15 laps sooner than you did. How were you able to hold on for so long compared to those guys?
I was just running my pace.
How crucial is that at a track like Texas where it's, you got room to move around, but it does become a low line dominant racetrack?
Yeah, that's where I like to spend my time down low. I slow up a lot for the corners, so it helps me save tires, and get a good run off.
How much fun are those battles at the end up at the front of the field? We saw some great battles throughout the field. You and this 9 team, I mean, you guys were up and down the order. You just kept scratching and clawing your way towards the front. How much fun is a race like tonight where we have so much green flag action? It really gives you an opportunity to be a race car driver.
Yeah, that's what I live for. I love the long green flag run stops. They're the best. I mean, I pride myself in saving tires the best I can, so been doing it a long time.
Well, Ken, again, a spectacular run here tonight. Second place finish. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Got a great looking race car as always, but anyone you want to shout out or thank before we let you go here this evening?
Just what you guys do here, the league, Brian Boyle's trucking, and everybody that's allowed me to race here. It's been a blast.
Well, Ken, again, cannot thank you enough for your time. Pleasure getting the opportunity to talk with you after this one. And again, congratulations on the second place run here at Texas.
Thank you, sir.
Ken Hansen, driver of the number 9, your second place finisher here at TMS. Let's go ahead and bring in our third place finisher. He's the driver of the number 5, making his return, Zach Rogers. Zach, you got a copy?
I sure do, Joe.
All right, third place finish, Zach. Was there anything left in the tank to try to go up and grab that 18, or were the tires just shot at the end of this one?
Nah, I fell into the trap. I was following the 925 there at the end, and I fell into the trap of running the pace he was running and just cooked the rears right off the car. To be honest, I'm surprised I was getting a run on Ken there on the last lap. Mm-hmm. There was really nowhere to go there, so I almost ran him over, which I was like, yikes, I don't want to do that.
Right.
So I checked up, and thankfully I got to keep it off of him. But yeah, the rights were just burnt off of it. I also saw Ricky J in my mirror, and I knew he was kind of running the same pace as me, but also trying to save his stuff. So I wasn't sure if I tried to back it off that couple miles an hour, if I would get swallowed up, and I wasn't trying to get swallowed up. So
how difficult was this race tonight? We had some really long green flag runs. We saw, a little mistake there coming off pit lane. How difficult was this race tonight to kind of navigate the long green flag runs, the short spurts at the start? What's kind of the mentality, between the ears and a race that swings as far left and right as this one did?
I'm going to be honest with you. I lost you halfway through your question.
Oh, man.
I'll start off with the pit road thing. I came off a pit road. Well, first I had to stop for someone coming out of their stall. That was unlucky.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came out of pit road and I felt fine. And then as I was turning into turn 2 on the apron and I started moving back left, I felt it start to step. And I was like, oh, I'll get off the throttle here and get back on. It'll be okay. Like I've done it before. Then it was still stepping, and I was like, okay, maybe again, step off of it, step back on it, and it was still going. And then I was like, all right, this is a good. I'm spinning out, like I think the slowest I've ever spun out on NR, and so it spun out, it spun around, spins around once. I try to get back going, spun around again. And I'm like, ay, and then I went to turn around and I gassed it up to spin it. And 3 cars were coming, which was unlucky for 1 because I brought the caution out, but it was lucky for 2 because I brought the caution out. So otherwise I would have been, I think, wherever I would have been 10 seconds behind the 18. So what was the second part of your question?
Something about short runs at the start, swinging to the long runs there in the middle. How tough is that?
Yeah, I mean, my setup, I haven't brushed this setup up since the last time I ran here 2 years ago, which, funnily enough, was at, it was at Phoenix the last time. But the last time I remember running Cup, I think it was at Texas. And this was the setup to beat 2 years ago. But as you can see, times change. People make work. So this setup, it might have been the way I was driving it too, but it would start pushing in the middle, and then it would feel a little light on the exit while still also kind of pushing. So I had to really manage. I felt like I needed to manage my throttle or I was going to loop it, which I'm glad I didn't loop it because usually I tend to loop it off at turn 2 here. So accomplish that goal of not self-spinning off the corner in turn 2, but we still self-spun off of turn 2 just on the apron instead. Did I answer your question? I don't know if I answered your question or not.
You got me. You got it. You got it, Zach. You got it. Third place run here tonight again, buddy. Congratulations. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Got great stuff going on. Got folks to thank. You've been up here plenty of times. You know the drill. Floor is yours.
Number one group of people to thank here tonight is going to be the members of Bomb Squad Racing. I had no business ever racing here again after I opened my big mouth about 2 years ago and said some pretty bad things about this league and the administration. I really spent time learning about how to handle myself better on this game. I mentioned that to you, back in July when Fast ran the Chicago Street Course that, you got leagues that some of them will give you those chances back, and sometimes you can't ask for those chances. And I've been given another chance here from the members of Bomb Squad Racing, and I'm going to make sure that I do them proud with this chance, because I don't think there's any more coming, Joe. So I got to shape up. So I want to thank them 100%. Magoo, Nelly, Greg, Brian Voiles, of course, Ricky J, Greg, all the members. There's too many of them to name. Man, I'll be sitting here forever. But I just got to thank them first and foremost. So then I got to thank Ricky J. As always, this setup is his. It's 2 years old with, I think, a small edit of mine, but still ran strong tonight. Got to thank Tyler, good hard racer. Got to thank Cody and Greg and some other teammates of mine. I got a book out called Death Craver. Check it out if you like. It's on Amazon. It's Craver, spelled Kraver. It's about a teenager who's invited to a top secret racing competition. He's the son of a motorsports legend who is missing, presumed dead. And there is a tactical assault squadron turned race team led by Death Craver, the titular antagonist, and they crazy, to put it bluntly. So check it out. It's on Amazon. You can get it on your phone or your tablet for 99 cents right now. So you can also get a paperback or hardcover copy if you like. So yeah, Joe, got to thank you and fellow Massachusetts native Dewey for broadcasting this thing. What's up, Dewey? I know your mic's muted on TeamSpeak, but what's up, Dewey? How you doing, man? Oh, my ears. That's how you know he's from Massachusetts, because he's loud.
Good to see you here, man.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to listening back to this broadcast. And yeah, so I got to thank y'all, and as always, Joe, you know it, the wheel, the pedals, the gear shifter.
Oh yeah.
The computer, the headset, man. I guess I got to thank Farmers Insurance, even though I'm probably never running this paint scheme again. But we'll thank them anyway, and hopefully we'll be out with something nice for y'all next week.
Well, Zach, it sounds good again, buddy. Congratulations on the podium finish. As always, it's a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you. And again, can't not thank you enough for your time here tonight.
Thank you again, Joe.
Zach Rogers, driver of the number 5, your third place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and finally step down into victory lane with driver of the number 18, Tyler Mallett. Tyler, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
16. What's the goal? How many do you want by the end of the year? We got 6 left?
I'm not setting a number on it. I'm just gonna, like I keep saying, I'm just gonna go out there and do the best I can every week.
Boo. Boo this driver.
Ow.
How good does it feel, involved in 2 incidents tonight? I mean, you're involved in an incident on lap 1. How good does it feel to be able to know that, this team can battle back through that adversity and still park this car in victory lane?
Well, thankfully we didn't get any damage in the we did a little bit when we scraped the wall on the first lap wreck, but then the second one didn't get any damage, just spun and didn't hit anything. Had a few flat tires, but I knew the long run pace of this 18 car was going to be pretty good and hard to beat. So I was counting on that all night to get through the field. So that ended up working out for me in the end, because we got exactly the right length of the run at the end.
How crucial was track position tonight? Because it seemed like at times you were struggling to kind of get up through the field, to kind of get to a point where we felt this 18 car was speed-wise. Was it a conscious effort to maybe save tires, or was it difficult to pass here?
Oh, it was difficult to pass. I mean, I didn't want to spend the first 80 laps back in 10th, but I was kind of just the way it played out. Needed a long run to get through the field like that. If I had pushed any harder at the beginning of the run, I probably wouldn't have had any speed at all by the end of it. So it was a little bit of a conscious effort just to keep the tires on it and hope that we would get to the point in the run where I can make passes effectively. But luckily we got that a few times tonight, and that's what helped me get through the field.
Well, Tyler, again, congratulations on claiming the 6 shooters down there in victory lane. Another victory with number 16 on the year. Before we let you go, I want to give the opportunity. Here's the microphone. You've done this at least 16 times this year. You know what to do.
Thank you. Thank you to you guys for broadcasting every week. If you're not subscribed to JTN and you're watching this, subscribe. Don't know why you're not subscribed already, but won't judge you. Thank you to Magoo for letting me race here every week. It's a blast every week coming here and just putting on a good show. Brian and Kathy Voiles, all they do for the series. Zach's first race back tonight. I'm glad he's gonna be able to run here again. He's a lot of fun to race with. Looking forward to going out and battling with him on track every week. Interstate Batteries for being on the car. Had pretty good pit stops tonight, actually. So I guess the pit crew, the fake pit crew that just runs around the car. But yeah, it was a good race. Everyone in BSR also for being such a great group of guys to race with. It's a lot of fun.
Well, Tyler, again, congratulations on the victory here tonight. As always, it's a pleasure getting the opportunity to talk with you, especially down here in Victory Lane. And again, cannot thank you enough for your time. Go celebrate this one as you have all the others. And we hope to be talking with you again next week.
Thank you.
Tyler Mallon, driver of the number 18, your race winner here tonight from Texas. Dewey, that's going to wrap up our coverage here on the 21st of September, 2023. Do you got a summation for the folks at home?
What now?
Do you have a summary?
Oh, a summary. I didn't even hear what that last word was. I'm like, what are you talking about?
All right.
Hey, I mean, a lot of good racing tonight. I think this is some of the best racing I think we've seen all season, actually. A lot of battling all the way through the field, about 6-7 different leaders tonight. Points battles swinging all over the place. Basically everything swinging all over the place. And at the end, the guy that's won the most did it again. I can't say I'm surprised, but I think the way it happened maybe was a bit surprising. But all in all, just a great, great night of racing tonight.
Folks, this might be burying the lead with just how late in the broadcast we are, but that was truly one of the best races we've seen all season here on JTN. Have no doubt in my mind that these guys will be able to replicate it here in these last 6 weeks of the season because, boy howdy, we got some good ones coming up here on JTN. Again, Thursday nights, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time, each and every week through the first Thursday of November. Again, make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. You can check out the Bomb Squad Racing League. We have their site linked in the video description below. A big thank you, as always, has to go out to Brian and Kathy Voiles Trucking for their not only their constant support of us here at JTN, but of course for their support of Thursday nights Bomb Squad Racing League Cup Series action broadcast to you at home live each and every week. Again, folks, with all that being said, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for my colleague Dewey Schramm, I've been JoeTowNetwork. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checker. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh! Turn 4 into the trial. Whitehill and through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
Off the ride and a wreckage behind him. You got cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down. It doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Behind, they're going to be side by side again. Contact there between Sinner and Bordeaux for third.
Contact! Oakley into the wall. That's going to be Jack Healy coming to the line.
Jack Healy